So hello all, my name is Shreyas Moghe and I'm currently pursuing my final year in production engineering at College of Engineering Pune, and today I'm here to tell you about my experience in GRE. So the overall experience was quite challenging. Actually, when you give such important examinations, so it opens your gate through prestigious universities, and you have a feeling of responsibility, and I was also feeling the same throughout the whole journey. uh, the ideal time to start preparing GRE is if you consider that you wish to appear for MS in winter intake October 2023. So the holidays, summer holidays between 6th and 7th STEM, these are the ideal one where you can start preparation of GRE. And also you may appear for GRE in September and October in between, so that you can have lead times for other preparation process too. Is the GRE difficult? Okay, so GRE is not absolutely difficult, but if you don't practice, then it becomes difficult day by day. The main mantra for the GRE cracking is that you should practice every day. You should give at least 1.5 to 2 hours every day for GRE solving, and yeah, so managing the time for GRE and bachelor studies. So as you know that I have appeared for GC2. So I have created the slots for GRE studies, GEC studies, and at the same time my bachelor studies too. And despite the college exams, I was finding at least 2 to 3 hours for the practice of verbal and quant studies. Now the tips and tricks for quantitative reasoning. In quantitative reasoning, you have to solve 20 questions, and you have been given a minute. You have been given 35 minutes for one session. So we as Indians, we don't have any problem for quantitative reasoning, but the time management here comes into play. You have to solve at least 15 questions of quantitative reasoning every day. It might be the graphical questions where most of the problem arises. It may be the probability questions. It may be the starting quantitative comparison questions. So you have to solve those questions. I guess 15 to 20 questions every day to be acquainted with what is actually the question asking about. Then the tips and tricks for verbal reasoning. So I think that the verbal reasoning is one of the most toughest part of the GRE that we almost encounter everyone. So in verbal reasoning, we can divide it into two parts. First is reading comprehension, and second is sentence equivalence and text completion. So for sentence equivalence and text completion, I think that most of us have to learn vocabulary. Someone says that you have to learn 1000 words, 1500 words, or maybe 2000 words. But I think that 700 to 750 words are sufficient for GRE cracking. But the important thing is that you should be by heart in that. Also, the practice that you are going to do every day about the sentence equals and text completion, that allows you to know the connotations. You have already heard what is connotation. So it allows you to know what are the connotations of the sentence, and accordingly you can solve the questions within a minute. Then coming to the reading comprehension. The reading comprehension consists of 10 questions, and you have to solve it within 20 minutes, because the rest 10 minutes of the section you have to give for the 10 sentence equivalence and text completion questions. So for the reading comprehension questions, the main important thing that you should do is that you have to practice. It may be 2 or 3 small paragraphs and one bigger paragraph. So you have to solve at least 10 questions of reading comprehension every day, and you have to ensure that at least you encounter one big paragraph in it. Now the importance of analytical writing. Usually I've seen that most of us tend to ignore analytical writing because it is one of the most easiest part of GRE. But you never know what the analytical writing score may be useful for you. For example, if you have applied for MS and at that time you are going for any part-time research intern, so they won't see your verbal and quantitative score, because they already know that you have come to the university, so you have prepared for that well. But when it comes for analytical writing, so they see that are you grammatically up to the mark, or are you able to write all those things that you have been memorized or what we have been thinking on paper. So at that time, analytical writing score is important. So in analytical writing section, you have to write two essays. First is argument, and the second is issue. So each has 6 marks, and you get the average of what you score in each section. Now, the most crucial part of GRE. The most crucial part of GRE, according to me, is time management. As you know that we have to solve 6 sections, one of analytical writing and two each of verbal and quant, and one will be the experimental section. Now, the trick to identify experimental section is that the section that comes right after analytical writing, you may consider it as it will be going to an experimental section. Not that one, but any three of them could be, any one out of three could be the experimental section. And it is required by the ETS to upgrade their problems, questions, and to take feedback from the students. After that, there are 2 sections each that you have to solve, on which your marks are going to be obtained. So the tips and tricks for it will be, you have to properly manage the time and go with the flow. You have only 30 minutes for verbal reasoning for one section, and 35 minutes for quantitative section. So the practice that you have did in earlier days, so it is going to help you in that time. After that, about the preparation, so I may suggest that according to my experience, I did 3 months of classes, and then I took 1 to 1.5 months for self preparation. And in that self preparation, I tried different mock tests. So you may get different mock tests online that are free of cost. There are Kaplan, Manhattan, McGraw-Hill. They all have each one free mock test, so you may use that. And when you apply for the when you apply for the GRE, so ETS provides you 3 mock tests. So with the proper user interface, so you may get acquainted with it. And yes, I think that finding out 1.5 to 2 hours every day solving verbal, mainly reading comprehension and the quantitative questions, will definitely make you to crack the GRE. Okay, so in summary, GRE is not at all difficult. The most important thing is that you spend at least 1.5 to 2 hours every day. Also, you should give at least 1.5 to 2 months earlier than GRE to solve only mock tests and see what are the difficulties you are getting in. And do not fear, you are able to crack GRE with the help of this. All the best.